In the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson wrote that all men are created equal. But not all groups of people have always had equal rights in the United States. When the Constitution was written in 1787, only white men had the right to vote. Other people have had to fight for the right to vote and for civil rights. Many groups of people have organized, marched, protested, and petitioned to change the laws. They used their First Amendment rights, including the freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and the right to petition the government. There are now 4 different amendments to the Constitution, allowing more people to vote. The 15th Amendment was added to the Constitution in 1870, after the Civil War and the end of slavery. This amendment said that men of any race could vote. Women, however, were not allowed to vote. As early as the 1850s, Susan B. Anthony, a leader in the women's rights movement, started working for women's rights and civil rights. Susan B. Anthony organized meetings and protests to support women's education and equality. She asked the government to give voting rights to women. It took more than 70 years for women to get the right to vote. In 1920, a constitutional amendment was added to allow women to vote. Susan B. Anthony is one of the leaders who fought for this important right for women. At this point, the Constitution said that men and women of any race could vote. But in many places, African Americans still did not have equal rights. Because of a long history of racial discrimination, American society was segregated or separated by race. African Americans had to go to separate schools and had to sit in separate places on a bus or drink from different drinking fountains. They were often not allowed to vote. To stop this racial discrimination, people started to organize and join the civil rights movement. Martin Luther King Jr. became a leader in the civil rights movement to end racial discrimination. Starting in the 1950s, he fought for equality for African Americans and other people of color. Martin Luther King Jr. gave public speeches, wrote letters to newspapers, and organized nonviolent protests to change laws and change people's opinions. He fought for equality and civil rights. Because of King's leadership and the work of many people in the civil rights movement, the laws finally changed. In 1964 and 1965, the government passed the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. These laws protected voting rights and ended legal discrimination. King was assassinated in 1968. Each year in January, we celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day to honor him for his fight for civil rights and equality for all Americans. There are 2 other constitutional amendments about voting. In 1964, an amendment was added to say that people don't have to pay a tax to vote. In 1971, the voting age changed to 18 so that younger people can vote. Today, any citizen over the age of 18, male or female, of any race, can vote. These changes to our government and our society did not happen easily. Through the years, many people have fought for equality and our right to vote.